is the man who built it, B.C. Lee, the chairman of Samsung. As a boy growing up in rural Korea, then part of the Japanese Empire, B.C. Lee had witnessed farmers struggling to get enough food from the land. He'd wanted to help his country become more self-sufficient. The timing, the finances, had never quite been right. The installed dictator, who had been elevated from general to president in 1963, had offered him an ultimatum. Let's just say the moment suddenly felt right. Sojin Lim is co-director of the International Institute of Korean Studies at the University of Lancashire in England.
Because he himself was from those rural places, and also the fertilizer was to achieve the development.
Park Chung-hee had begun harnessing the power and money of chaebols to build a new, modern South Korea.
Because everybody was so poor and most of the people lost their land, properties by the Japanese. At the rural places, you just exchange your rice with your clothes or something like that.
When the Japanese Empire fell after World War II, and then the Korean War of the early 1950s split the peninsula in two, the South got poorer still.
There was literally nothing for South Koreans to start with. Some people even compared the South Korean economy at that time was lower than the North Korean economy.
B.C. Lee's country had been dependent on aid from the U.S. ever since. In fact, his reason for starting Samsung had been to try and change that. And this fertilizer factory, despite the ultimatum, had the potential to do good. It had taken 18 months to build.